Hey everyone, DJ Teacup here with some closed alpha gameplay of a new upcoming Battle Royale game created by ProLariat Inc. This Battle Royale game, known as Spellbreak, adds a twist that separates its gameplay from other games of its genre. Instead of using traditional weaponry like guns, Spellbreak incorporates magical spells that players can use to deal devastating damage to their opponents. Instead of having to worry about ammunition and reloading, the spells in this game uses mana, and players will find themselves needing to be able to manage their resources instead of blindly throwing out spells in a prolonged firefight. There are currently 6 elemental spells that players can use at the moment, which include fire, electricity, ice, poison, stone, and wind. Now onto the gameplay aspect. Like typical Battle Royale fashion, a large group of players drop down from the sky into a map with a multitude of terrain including castles, forests, and open plains. Players need to search on the map for chests that can drop items ranging from healing potions, armor potions, types of armor trinkets, runes, and elemental gauntlets of different rarities. Each player is able to wield 2 gauntlets, which allows for interesting gameplay dynamics as players can mix and match their elemental spells to suit their desired playstyle. To add to the mage and spellcasting theme, Spellbreak gives players access to runes, which are basically special mage abilities that can spice up the battle. Some examples of these abilities include teleporting, flying, invisibility, cooldown refreshes, radars, and much more. With the rune selection and the different gauntlets that you can equip at a time, each fight will be different and exciting compared to your typical shooter, which revolves around who can shoot each other's heads first. There's also a perk system in Spellbreak that players can choose and level up as they play the match to augment their abilities and effectively adjust to the items that they have scavenged upon successfully dropping into the map. When I first played Spellbreak, the elemental spells are what caught my attention in the first place. Battles involving groups of players can be chaotic yet fun, as each element has their own special reactions with each. This allows for players to be able to make powerful spell combinations to destroy their opponents, as well as allow counterplay to allow players to turn the tables of a fight. And what you're seeing right now on screen is gameplay of a match that I played, and right now I'm currently using 2 ice gauntlets, and I'm versing a player that is using electricity and ice. As you can see, there is a primary fire and a secondary fire with each gauntlet, which allows for 4 different spells to be combined at a time. And this player is surprised that I'm using 2 ice, as he gets caught by the double secondary ice blizzards from the ice gauntlets, which helps me secure the kill at the end, because I'm able to lock him down with 2 stun freezes. In this instance right here, right after the fight, I switched to an electricity gauntlet as well as an ice gauntlet. And the opponent I'm fighting is using fire and poison with the Shadow Step rune. The Shadow Step rune allows him to evade its darkness and stay invisible for a while, and it makes your opponents have to guess and predict where you are, giving you some time to be able to aim some free shots and maybe do some damage. And right here, I use the invisibility rune and try to sneak up on my opponent, but he's also using the Feather Fall rune, which makes it hard for me to hit him in the air, which makes me eventually lose the fight as I get caught off guard. As you can see, Spellbreak has a wide variety of different combinations you can use, and the different spell interactions is what makes the game so interesting compared to other Battle Royale shooters. As you can see on screen, there's poison, can be blocked by wind as it can be blown away from the vapors, or you can have rock in the earth gauntlets and make fissures in the ground, or even use your secondary ability to throw rocks and it can blow away the poison. The primary ice gauntlet fire can shoot icicles as long as leaving a trail of ice, and paired with a poison gauntlet you can make the ice trails turn into poison fields, letting dot damage arise. Poison and fire combined can make devastating poisonous cloud explosions that can hurt people with 2 types of damage over time elements. And with the secondary fire of the fire gauntlets is a wall of flames, and combined with the poison you can make a wall of poisonous flames. And when fire and ice come together, leaves water trails, which can lead to interesting interactions, like when you equip the electricity gauntlet, you can use the water to spread your electricity and conduct a large area to deal damage to your opponents. And with the air gauntlets, you can even not only affect and hit enemies, you can use the air to propel yourself into the air, leading you to better angles and the high ground to be able to catch your enemies off guard. And to show even more different combinations, the secondary wind attack is to make a devastating tornado, and paired with the poison, you can make a poisonous tornado, and used with a fire gauntlets, you can make a firestorm the enemy's con side will be killed. Unfortunately, the ice and the tornado doesn't have any capabilities, but with the ice, stun, and the wind knockup, you can have some interesting combinations to catch your opponents off guard. Ice and poison, you can trap people inside the poison clouds and freeze them, and if you have a fire gauntlet nearby, you can definitely blow them up with a powerful combination. Ever wanted to use a stylish trick shot? You can use the wind element to propel yourself in the air and use the icicle primary to get a nice snipe across the map. I was surprised by the level of detail that the developers put into the different elements and how they interact with each other. It's the attention to detail that makes the gameplay unique and fun to play. Here I have some clips of several matches that can be examples of how the different combinations of elements and rune abilities can make for great gameplay. And in this clip I'm currently using the earth gauntlets as well as the ice gauntlets, and I'm fighting a player that is using fire and electricity. I try to use the earth gauntlets to try to get him to jump in the air, while using the icicles to try to snipe him from the sky, because he's caught up in this air and he can't move much. But he unfortunately has the shadow step rune and allows him to evasively dodge and also be invisible. But with my blink rune, I'm able to teleport short distances and dodge his electricity and his thunderstorms, and finally able to catch him off guard by hitting him with a ground pound. And in the second clip, I'm using fire and poison. Now the interesting thing about these two gauntlets is although they do pair well together and can make super strong chemical reactions, the way that you aim them is that they're projectiles and they have an arc-like trajectory. And with that, you have to be more accurate and also be able to calculate the distance between you and your opponent compared to something more accurate like the icicle from the ice gauntlet that my opponent is using. Unfortunately, my opponent also has the feather fall, and he's able to fly higher in the sky, so I try to zone him away with my flame wall and try to just get lucky fireballs and try to hit him from the sky. Because he's starting to get closer, I try to use more projectiles and aim towards the floor to try to get splash damage. Unfortunately, it's not doing well. But I'm able to catch him in a flame wall, and as he's in the air, I aim a fireball hit and hit him dead on. The time to kill in this game isn't short like typical shooters such as Call of Duty or Battlefield. One-on-one engagements can take up to a couple minutes as players have to strategically aim their spells, as well as try to trap their opponents with a combination of their two gauntlet spells. But like any Battle Royale game, half of the gameplay will be you trying to find other players to fight as you scavenge for better equipment. Some players run, some players want to fight. But when you finally engage with an opponent, winning can feel so satisfying.
Ho ho ho! What's up, sucker?
And sometimes your ego could come into play as another player challenges you and you think you can take them on.
Whoa! What? I'm out of here. Oh, okay, okay. That's where you are. Whew. Hey, you wanna play? You can play. Yeah, we have the same damn moves, huh? Oh shoot, he has fire too. Oh shoot, and I'm lagging? This is so unfair.
This game has still much to work on, but at its current state that is closed alpha, I think the game is going at a phenomenal pace and can become a contender to others in its genre. I'll close out the video with some unedited gameplay of a long firefight I had with another player. This is DJ Teacup, and I'll catch you next time.
Now let's figure out where everyone is. awkward moment when no one is around you. He's immune? That's some BS. Oh, I forgot I have wind. Screw it. Rather use something I'm comfortable with than use wind. Is someone attacking me? Oh, he's drinking. Disaster. It's nice. Oh, this is not good. Woo! Oh shit! Oh, I'm shocked. This is so annoying. Okay. You running? You coward. Oh shit! This is not good. Oh, and he shocked me? You little coward. Oh my god, there's a fucking... Oh shit, I would die. Oh my god. No. Oh, I finally killed him. Let's go. Oh, fuck. No.